So this is just a typical wind-up of the knowledge that you need to know about self-organizing maps. So self-organizing maps, as we have said before, the first step is to initialize your weights, and then later you try to determine or try to know which of them suits my neighborhood. Then later we determine the best matching unit and then do the calculation in your neighborhood. The calculation is done through a distance, and we say that Euclidean distance is one of the most generally used type of distance. And then you do your neighborhood calculation. That is another unit that is or that has similar properties of the best matching unit is also put into consideration. Then something to note is that this whole process is done as an iteration, but our focus is mostly done on the weights, and that is why I want to focus on a weight update. And I'm going to say that the weight vectors of the winner and its neighboring units in the output space are adjusted to become more representative of the features that characterize the input space. So you notice that there is a comparison between what is being given and what is being outputted. So if you stand a chance of those beta sizes or those similar properties of that means you'll be considered. Leave the mathematics, ignore the mathematics at all, and try to focus on this example I'm going to talk about. Imagine you're into a voting process. You have different candidates. You have candidate A, candidate B, and candidate C. Candidate A might put into their mandatory, and they're saying, I'm going to do this for the community, and candidate B might wanting to do for the community, but he might be lousy, you see. So you as a community, you have outstanding features or outstanding properties of how any candidate should possess in order to best suit them for this position, right? So that is one of the ways. If you're going to go or cast your vote onto someone, it will be at the back of your mind of like, oh, this candidate possesses the best qualities for me, or why maybe this candidate is compassionate about my community, or maybe this candidate is much compassionate about bringing change and they're not self-centered, you see. So one of the ways that we are seeing is that with the properties, they are clearly outlined, and any candidate that possesses those outlined properties will become a winner. Based on a competitive learning, you go, you cast your vote, they are doing their different, they are bringing out their different features, their different properties, they're different, both inner and outer, as you're looking at a candidate. I'll still give you an example, still ignoring the math to put either pressure, is imagine you wanted to declare or know how poverty is being spread. There are some people that are living below the standards of living, and there are some that are well off. They have the basic needs, and some don't even have the basics. So before you're doing your BMU, which is the best matching unit, you have to have properties that possess this best matching unit. At the end of the day, the person will ask you, what are you basing on to say that these people are poor, that these people are living below the standard of living line? So any person declared as a winner has to have those properties, and you're telling the person that based on what I have seen, this person best stands out, and they are going to be identified or say poor or living below the poverty line, or they cannot do any better. So that's one way of trying to look into castration of the weight update. Then still continuation, the rate of adaptation of the weights, the alpha decreases away from the winning node according to the spatio-temporal decay function, where D is the lateral distance between the winning neuron C and excited neuron I, and sigma is the effective width or radius of the neighborhood at iteration I. As we have said before, iteration is important. Sorry, your neighborhood and your radius are important because they get to alter or change the whole output space. So input it, output it. As the next slide, I'm going to show you a data set that has been worked on, and I would like to say that all the work that you have seen here is currently collaborated on with one of our facilitators, that is Damas Otieno. His input and my input have been put together, and the data set that I'm still going to show you is one of his self-organizing maps airlines that he worked on himself, and all of the references are based on him, and some of a few references that I'll put across. Thank you so much for this session, and I hope you have an insight, or you're excited to know how self-organizing maps do the job.